The question that I focused on was why is empathy so important? I found myself asking this a lot. It seems to be everywhere: commercials, politics, day-to-day situations, and nobody seems to notice that it's going on. I found myself wondering how empathy affects interactions on a day-to-day basis, and also how it affects marketing and political values. I wrote down this curiosity into three main points. One, how much empathy a person feels depends on many factors. Two, the empathy we feel plays an important role in our day-to-day interactions. And three, how much empathy a person feels towards certain people or situations can affect political and social values. I found it interesting to study how different people grow up to feel empathy. Much of my research showed that many factors, including traumatizing experiences, divorced parents, and even just living a happy childhood, can affect how they feel empathy, and it affects each person differently. One author even suggests that mimicry and the want to belong can affect the ability to empathize. They suggest that, quote, mimicry is the only empathy-arousing mechanism that assures a match between the observer's feelings and expression. So just being next to and face-to-face with the person can actually affect how you are empathizing with them. This empathy that we carry with us affects our everyday lives. It affects how we handle stressful situations with the cashier at a department store, the person that you're driving behind on the road, even the person that you run into while walking down the street. The way that we react to these situations is a mirror image of our ability to understand what the person may be dealing with or not dealing with at the time. As the author of The Ethics of Care and Empathy puts it, quote, empathy with other individuals requires them to be seen as individuals. And this is really important because if we don't see these people that we encounter as individuals, then we will most likely treat them with a lack of respect, which is what happens often. Empathy doesn't just affect our day-to-day interactions, though. It affects our social and political beliefs as well. Politicians know this and often use it to their advantages by making speeches that causes people to feel empathy for whatever situation that they're causing for, and the same is with human rights activists as well. One author suggested that, quote, if empathy is aroused, the welfare of others will be considered, which is very true, and it's important to look at things that have happened in the past, like women's suffrage and African American suffrage. They had to put themselves out there and have others feel empathy for them in order to have people that weren't going through the same thing fight for their own rights. And you can see the same thing happening today with gay marriage. They are putting themselves out there saying that this isn't right, and they don't feel that they're being treated fairly, and they have to have other people empathize with that problem. The more people see the struggles that others are going through, the more willing they're going to be to change it. This makes empathy an extremely powerful tool. Overall, the most important thing that I learned about empathy is the power understanding others has. If people can convince others to see and understand what other people are going through, it can actually change opinions and even lives of other people, which to me is why empathy is so important.